Hey everyone, it's Doug DeVitri with I Buy Belize Keller Williams. Today we've got an awesome show prepared for you. We've got some new things that we've been working on that are super exciting that I hope that you have the chance to check out. Without further ado, I'm going to bring on my good friend. I know she's your good friend too, Macarena Rose.
Oh, I want to dance.
Well, you do the Macarena, and then I'll teach people how to Dougie.
Dun, 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 dun. We need the soundtrack for the Macarena, I think.
Soundtrack. I don't know. Your jokes get the your jokes get the laughs, and then my jokes get the right. Well,
Sorry, Doug.
I'm so glad everybody could join us today. We have we're going to talk about some of the things that we did in San Pedro. We also have some very special guests, the owner of the Off the Wall Diving Resort. This is a diving resort on its own island, about an hour and a half boat ride off the port of Dangriga. They've had this place for 25 years. It's absolutely spectacular. They're going to be able to answer questions that you didn't even think about, with regards to sustainability, think about running a business, running a hotel. And I know they have some exciting news that they want to share with us too. But before we get into it, Macarena, I know community service is something that's been big with our company, right?
Very big.
Like when other businesses do good, right? We do good too, right? When people do good, we do good too. Share with us some of the things that we've been working on, some of the community, because I think people think it's just about real estate, just about homes and pricing and showings, but it's a whole lot more than that. So I want you to talk to that.
So something that when I'm consulting with clients is that I'm reminding them, okay, you're moving to Belize, then what? What are you going to do while you're in Belize, right? Are you coming to give back to the community? Are you going to want to sit on the beach and sip a fruity drink all day? For how long can you do that? So one of the things is we're very passionate about Keller Williams Belize and giving where you live. Keller Williams Belize is very participatory in that fact completely. We just installed the agents on the island of Ambergris Key, San Pedro town. They just installed 3 air conditionings in the polyclinic. And can you imagine if you're not feeling good, you don't want to be hot, do you?
Wow.
You don't.
Here it is so hot. It's incredibly hot.
And the AC gives you a little break. Just a little break is really good, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. Well, I know one of the things that we did when we were on San Pedro Island is that we were recording videos of business owners, of them talking about their specific property, right? Or not their property, but their business. And so when we visited each business, we had our phone and recorded either the owner, the manager, the supervisor, support staff, and said, "Hey, can you tell us why people come here, or all the places to choose here on San Pedro Island? Why do people come here? What differentiates you? What are the specials that you have? Is there something on the menu, right, that you people like die for?" So we recorded these videos, and you should see the transformation people had, because they don't typically get coaching for marketing or for video, for spokesperson training. So it was absolutely awesome. So you're going to see these videos pop up on our social media page. It's actually on the I Buy Belize Facebook page. If you go check it out, so follow. You'll see, even if you were on, if you were one of the owners, you got one of these little stickers here. This lets everybody knows that we're here to support you in any different way, and just kind of as a trusted business. Now, Macarena, I know you've been to San Pedro Island. In fact, the first time that I met you, right, you took me out to Ambergris Key, and
Many years ago.
yeah, that was when I didn't have white hair on my face, right?
That was a long time ago. Yep.
And we recorded a video, and I didn't realize how popular it was become as when I was snorkeling with the sharks with the underwater camera, and it was called Shark Pull My Finger, right? Do you remember that?
Yes.
It got a ton of video views for you and to support you in that way. So I believe that's the way that we have to work together, is find fun, unique experiences that we can share with one another, so that way others can benefit from it.
Absolutely correct. Yeah. And be able to show what is special about Belize, right? So to me, that's one of the drawing factors for Belize for me. Uh, that there was many things to do that were exciting, whether you were snorkeling with the sharks or whether you're in the jungle and you're listening to animals that you know that are out there, just wondering how close they are to you.
well, well, I think I think that there's a lot of businesses that want to work together. I think that you could see it on people's faces of how they were impacted from the COVID-19 pandemic. There was at least a year or two where weren't able to bring in revenues. So it can be difficult, right, to run a business, especially if you're used to attracting customers the same way that you always have, right? And I think there's a big need for others to really learn some of these new skills so they can attract new business and new customers to them.
Well, and we're here to help, which is great, right? So it's giving people, everybody wants to be featured, right? You want somebody to talk about you, right? And talk great things and let people know that, wow, you have to try this restaurant, or wow, please stop by this pupuseria, my favorite, yummy, yummy. And where is a cool place to go snorkeling or hang out and have that fruity drink with a little umbrella, right?
Right. I mean, so even just getting started with a business has been intimidating. You know, when you started Rainforest Realty 18 years ago, without really knowing anybody and having to go through the growing pains, right, of the paperwork, you know, filing the right paperwork with the government, getting the appropriate licenses, making sure that you're getting established correctly. And I know that many people, when they come to Belize, they see somebody else's dream, right, and they want to they want to buy it because they also have a similar dream, or they want to take someone's dream and then make it their own. That's what I see is exciting about being here, is because of the opportunities that you can create, and also the ones that you can kind of borrow from others, right? That are or kind of like take over for that from them.
Yes. And having a business in Belize is a whole other different parameter. Certainly, you need really good consultancy around that. I'm working with some folks right now looking at a resort, and there's a whole different, set of questions and things that have to be checked out all, ahead of time. I would say at least 10 major boxes, and we've got to make sure that makes sense, right? So it's not, impossible to have a business in Belize. It's very important to set it up and make sure it was set up right.
Sure. And when you think about buying a business, right, many times the property is attached to the business. What are some things that we business owners want to consider when you're buying somebody else's business?
Well, so goodwill is very important. So is the goodwill good? Is, just a small little thing, but as silly as it sounds, you really want to deep dive and have people that have the right information, because it can say whatever online, but we really want to make sure that what that reputation is. And then to do a corporate search, make sure there's nothing that they owe that's outstanding. And very important to really make sure it's done right. And it's one of the things we work very closely with the attorneys to make sure all of those questions are answered ahead of time.
Yeah, and what I'm so excited about bringing Kendra and Jim on is because they've gone through this, and they've been doing it for so long, and have had those growing pains too, right? Of getting started. And if you and what makes it easy for us, right? Like we kind of have the easy jobs. They have 296 reviews on TripAdvisor, right? That's out of this world. And here's the thing is, like, there's only 6 that have 4 stars, right? All the rest of them are 5 stars. So when you see something like this, and if you're an investor and you see what it's priced at and you see the financials, you're going to say, wow, I've always thought about maybe doing this, right? Or maybe if you're not even looking for a business, you think, well, gosh, I've got a lot more grandkids now where I need a fun place for them to go and for them to return. I don't know. This just seems like to me like like one of those unique things that you just don't run across. So that's why I'm so excited to have them here.
Well, and I have to tell you something. When I moved to Belize 18 years ago, you all of a sudden become uber popular. So everybody wants to come and see you. It's not about you, but you live in a really cool place. They might want to see you too. I'm hoping some of the people did. But frankly, you live in a really neat place and you have the skinny of what it's like to be an expat in the country. So
Yeah.
nothing better than going to a destination where you know somebody.
No, it's so awesome. I'm so excited. I'm here. We're gonna do this right now. We're gonna bring them on. Let's everybody. If and in fact, here's what I'd encourage you to do here too. Before we get started here, I just want to remind everybody to go into the comments on Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter and just leave a little comment. Tell us where you're from. Tell us if you're a real estate agent. We all work together, even though we're not from the same company. We all work together. If you have a question that you want us to answer live during this, we have the ability to do that. So, without further ado here, we're gonna bring them on. Let's give them a big round of applause. Kendra, can you hear us okay? All right, we got the audio. We're going to bring Macarena back on to see if we can wait for the audio, because I think number one, we've got a sometimes the internet isn't it can be, but also getting the settings right for this program is important. Kendra and Jim, we're going to check back with you here on your. So it's the gear settings on the bottom right for the web app.
And if you can talk when you hear, then we know when you're back on or you're connected. And so it's really a fascinating thing, because this is part about we call TIB. This is Belize, right? If you have to have things perfect and everything fall in place, and you have to have, your specific type of rice or your specific type of laundry detergent, Belize isn't for you. Belize is for you if you
I had to.
It's true.
Yeah.
I was blown away after I'd been in Belize for 9 months and came back to the United States, just for a short weekend visit. And I was like, I walked into a very large store. I won't name the name, very large store that had a grocery store and everything in it you could possibly think of. And I went to just go get shampoo. I was blown away that I had literally a whole aisle of shampoo that I had to choose from. I'm like, I don't need all those choices. And, did I get the kind that I wanted in Belize that I was used to? No. But that's probably, to me, the biggest thing is you can go shopping in literally, 15 minutes, because you're going to go boom, 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 boom. You don't have to make all these decisions.
Yeah,
And you get used to.
Yeah, buying something on Amazon is going to take you at least 2 weeks to get here, unless you're going to pay an exorbitant amount of shipping overnight to a foreign country.
That's true. And what we find is that a lot of times you can find people coming back and forth, and we'll ask them, hey, can you bring me, some things, right? And they'll bring them in. And then, Kendra and Jim, just say hi if you have your sound, and we'll stop talking. But certainly one of the things that's really neat to me is that you learn to do with what you have.
Yeah.
So you might have thought you needed 12 different pairs of shoes. I just saw someone's Facebook post, and they had a picture of all of their shoes that they, had changed sizes. They had a size change. And I looked at all those shoes going, wow, there was like 8 blacks, 8 browns, 10 whites. And I'm like going, we just don't have that in Belize. And so it's mind blowing. You literally can maybe have 4 4 pairs of shoes. How many shoes do you need? You're a runner. How many shoes do you have?
I have 3 here.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
3.
and a lot of runners will have a lot more.
Yeah.
I am looking at Kendra and Jim are trying to talk to us.
All right, let's get them back on.
Can you talk to us and see if we can hear you? Can you hear us okay? You shake your head. Oh, I think he can hear us.
They should be able to hear us fine. It's the one setting, and sometimes that can be difficult on a smaller device just to find that little setting. But it's the microphone setting that you either have to unmute yourself, right, um, or have it turned on. So
Oh my goodness, I have great questions for them. So I can't wait that we finally get this to work, right?
and here's something too. Yeah, I would encourage Carrie Joe Little from Chicago. How are you today? Nice to have you join us. I would recommend that you type a little question on so that you can I don't know, just say hi. I know that you're big into social media and getting the word out. So we're so glad that you joined. Kendra just joined from another device. I'm gonna see if we can grab her.
There's
Kendra,
Kendra.
let's
We
see if
can
we
see your lips moving. We just can't hear you. How many people have had a Zoom call like this where you're like, it was working earlier, it's not
can.
working now. I tried this, I tried that. But again, I have to remind you, if you have stress in your life and things throw you for a loop easily, Belize is not for you. And if you can just go with the flow and enjoy the sense of humor at all, Belize is for you. And
Yeah,
I
no
would
doubt.
think that's probably, I've seen many people throughout my 18 years of moving to, people that moved to Belize and this was for them and all these different things. And I remember one conversation, a gentleman complained about, when he went to immigration, he's like, oh, well, they were just rude and blah, blah. I was like, wow. And I said, so what did you say to them? And he told me what he said to them. And I said, well, I would have been rude to you too, because you were being pushy. And we're just not pushy. We wait our turn. We relax. It's going to happen either way. It's not going to happen quicker. If you push, it's going to be the opposite. So just breathe. Breathing goes a long way in anything we do, right? I have to tell you, did I tell you the story of when I first went to go pay my phone bill?
No, no.
So I went to go pay my phone bill in Belize because back then there wasn't online banking. You had to go in person, right, to do this. And so I went downtown to go into the San Ignacio BTL and go and pay my phone bill. And I walk in and I'm like, why is there all these shoes in a row? And what it is literally people were holding their spot in line with their shoes and they were sitting down because it was cooler. They could relax. We were in the air conditioning, so it was quite lovely. But I was like, how smart is that? And did people try and go around the shoes and get in line in front of them? No.
Yeah,
So, a lot of it goes with being respectful, something I love about Belize.
yeah,
Nobody wants to make vibes and, mess with each other. Everybody wants to get along. So
yeah.
when you learn that and you come from that place already, it's really easy to get along in Belize.
It's interesting because people talk about the high crime rate in Belize, and I know the U.S. Travel Advisor when I came down here was a level 4 do not travel here, and I was just thinking, okay, well I got to keep my eyes open. Well, gosh, I was blown away how honest people are, the integrity there. I lost my watch at the bus stop, right? At the bus stop, it's a $500 watch that has you can play music and stuff like that. So it's a fancy watch. This guy walks on and he asked me, "Hey, is this your watch?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, yes. Where did you find it?" And it was like nothing. I just couldn't believe he had the honesty to return that.
Well, and so very good people, like I think, I want to say it's like a magnet, a magnetic pole, right? Good people know good people, and likes attract likes, right? So you have that good juju and that energy around you, so
Yeah.
good things happen, right? And when we walk in fear, that's what we beget, right? So long story short, good for you, you got it. Is everyone going to do that? Well, sometimes all over the world, some people are going to, and some aren't.
Yeah. I mean, a guy dropped his phone, his smartphone, a golf cart. Somebody was chasing him down saying, "Hey, hey, you dropped your phone." The other day on Facebook, somebody lost their wallet and posted on Facebook, ended up getting it back. It's just absolutely awesome to see how people, um, you know, work together.
There they are. Kendra and Jim, can we hear you now? How interesting. So they just wrote me that the little green bar is moving when they talk, but we can't hear them.
Oh no. I've turned up their volume to a higher level. That's now they're.
And you can hear me, right, Doug? And so
I can hear,
Kendra can hear me. So my sound, the settings are fine. We just can't hear them, and we can't control on your side.
Hello. Yeah. See.
Hey!
What?
Can you hear us?
Hello.
Hi.
We hear
You
you.
You
hear
hear
us?
us? Yay!
We do.
No, just up there.
Once again, patience always pays.
Okay.
If
Now
you
you can hear us. How about now?
You're so much for joining in.
Thank you. That was
Thanks for your
great.
patience.
Hey, Macarena, close your face tab because I have on for the show. Feedback.
Mm-hmm. Can you
Is
hear us?
that better?
I hope you can hear us.
It says one of our streams has
Okay, that's good. All right.
connection issues. Okay.
We can
We're here though.
we can hear you perfectly.
Yay!
Okay. Yeah.
Isn't that
You're cutting in and
exciting?
out, but that's right.
Okay.
So one of the things that I wanted to make sure that we talked about was I had certain questions that I wanted to run by you. Is that okay to ask you?
Sure.
Yes.
People have wanted to know what it's like to live on an island. You were the only people I know that really have done it for so long.
25 years.
What is your favorite thing about living on an island?
Probably the slow pace.
It's very slow pace.
Very relaxing. You always see the best side of everybody because they're happy.
Yeah.
And in nature. Yeah. It's beautiful.
And it's a gorgeous place. So.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the view that you have, quite fabulous.
Yeah. Well, you have to get used to being away from the rat race and stuff, and learn how to slow down and relax.
We're still learning that lesson.
How do you find the best? How many days does it really compress?
Well,
our guests,
I would say our guests, a lot of them will come for 2 weeks and they say that's perfect.
Yeah. A lot of them come for a week, but by about Wednesday they start slowing way down.
Yeah.
They come on Saturday,
and then they don't want to go.
And then the next Saturday when they're supposed to leave, they don't want to leave. But
yeah.
So then they're like, we've got it.
Yeah. So it takes a couple days to kind of, especially when you're so busy preparing for traveling and the stress of flights and everything these days. It usually takes a couple days to, unwind after that.
I found one of the things when I'm Belize, people were already
Yeah.
and that helped me do the same. So I can come and live with y'all. Okay, so tell me what is something that you didn't anticipate about living in Belize?
Oh, originally coming from the hectic life of cities in the United States, it just took learning how to slow down and relax and not let things bother you. I tried to run a business at the same pace I did in the States, and it just doesn't work when you're dealing with Belizean employees. They work at a slower and mellower pace, and so it took me a while to give up my previous ways and adjust and slow down. Once I did that, then things were a lot easier.
And what about you, Kendra?
Probably the same. It's you just kind of take every day at a time. We find it even with our guests. Everybody wants to know what's going to happen in the future. What's going to happen in the afternoon. What are the plans for the next day? They want everything all scheduled out. And here it's better just to see what the weather's doing and see what you feel like doing and have less of a to-do list, less of a plan, and just do what feels right at the moment. That's hard for people to let go of that, and it's something we still struggle with at times too.
Wow, even you all.
Well, not that much.
Yeah, still some.
That makes me feel really good. I mean, that gives people a whole to go. Okay, this is normal to have this little bit of wanting to still slow down.
Yeah. Yeah.
How long have you lived on the island?
We've lived here, I think, 25 years.
This year will be 25
Yeah.
for me, and Jim came 3 years before, but we met here.
Wow, you met on the island.
Exactly.
How did you talk her into staying, Jim?
Oh, I don't know. Just convinced her to fall in love with me. And then,
Well done.
Yeah. It wasn't a plan, it just sort of happened.
So were you just coming for vacation?
Yeah, I was coming for vacation. I was looking for a lifestyle change too. I was kind of tired of the rat race. And Jim as well when he came 3 years before. So it just sort of happened. It wasn't really a plan, but I think both of us felt it in our gut that this is a beautiful place and we could live here easily.
How fascinating is that? So tell me. Can I ask another question?
Sure.
We work with a lot of people that have this idea to move to Belize. I did it 18 years ago. You did it over 25 years ago. What advice do you, first of all, you, Jim, what advice have before people move to Belize?
oh, well, it's Belize is a big country and it's a beautiful country. I mean, there's two separate things about Belize. You have your jungle, your inland, which is gorgeous in its own right, and then you have the sea and the ocean, the islands, and everything, which is gorgeous in its own right. So if you're planning on living here, it's may want to come experience both sides, and just find a place that you like and enjoy. And I happened to come to this island 28 years ago or whatever, and I fell in love with it right away. So I just knew that I wanted to stay here. But so I'm not really sure. You could ask my wife. But.
Probably the same thing. Yeah, I would say come explore, meet the people, check out the country, see where you want to live, if it's a lifestyle that you want, if you want to be relaxed and are okay not having McDonald's. Yeah, and then go from there. But when I first came here, I came straight to this island, and I knew right away that it was for me. So, but I was ready for it. So.
And you were right. Look at how that worked out.
Yeah, exactly.
So you say about McDonald's, and it's funny because with so many more people in the country, you don't have McDonald's. There has to be so many people per capita in an area.
Yeah.
So I was Water's hero. I found Dr. Pepper 18 years ago. She was very happy with me.
Yeah. My husband likes Dr. Pepper too.
To appreciate things completely differently.
Yeah.
What about you? Family on the island. What do you do?
Well, we do get our family that come and visit, like you had mentioned earlier. Friends and family don't say, "Can we come visit?" They pretty much say, "How long can we come for?" When are you going to kick us off? And they all come a lot. We're very fortunate that we have family that like to travel, love Belize, and come visit us. So
that makes it really nice. I did comment before the show started that you become very popular when you leave Belize.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Exactly.
People want to come visit you.
Everybody wants to come visit.
I have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
So let me ask you this: What is the most exciting or reason why I come to this place?
What? Sorry, you cut out. What is the most exciting?
What's the most exciting come to your place? Come to visit.
Exciting. What I can't. You have to
cut out again.
Say that one more time.
Oh, sorry. Why do people? What attracts people
to
the most? Yeah.
Nature.
Yeah, nature. Well,
and to unwind.
We're sort of a diving resort, but we do snorkeling also. So of course we get a lot of divers because they want to scuba dive and at Belize, which is one of the best places in the world to scuba dive. And then Glover's Reef happens to be one of the best places in Belize to scuba dive. And then we have such short and easy boat rides to our dive sites, 2 minutes. And then our snorkeling here is phenomenal right off the island. So
and fishing too.
And fly fishing. Yes.
You have easy access, so it's not you're not in a boat ride for a couple hours to get to world-class sites. It's right here. So a lot of people are coming for that.
Cool.
And we do acquire a certain clientele because we are an eco-friendly resort, and so the people are not. Our clientele are not really the 5-star hotel people that are wanting to go to Cancun. They're more into nature and they're wanting to come to a smaller mom and pop island like ours and really get to know the staff and everybody that's here. So it's very family oriented.
To me, that's what makes it really ideal is to really go away. Is the small quaintness that you have. And
yeah,
maybe a
go ahead. Feel like they're coming and joining our family, our staff, and like we eat the meals with all of our staff, the locals. So you get to see the local culture, and it's more like you're coming to live here with us for a week. Yeah, we get a lot of return guests that really like that. The inclusion and being outdoors in nature and happy atmosphere.
They are coming to see you. Right. You live there. So no wonder your family wants to come visit. And guests. I would think that guests going there because it's so intimate become family.
They do.
They do.
And we have a huge amount of return guests because of it. And they just come back year after year after year.
Yeah.
Your 10th trip is free. So, and we've had a lot of people catch up on that and take advantage of it.
Well, that's a good bar to reach. And that's a sign of doing something really right, in the right place, and you have the system down pat. That means a lot.
We've had a while to figure it out. Yeah. And a lot of input because we spend time with our guests and our staff. We actually live here on the island with them, so we get their feedback.
That's really powerful. We always want to learn, right? All right. I want to know. I love things that are funny. First of all, Jim, what is the funny thing? The funniest thing that's ever happened to you while living on your island?
Oh, there's lots of funny things that happen here all the time, but
give me more.
I don't know. We have a very frisky loggerhead turtle that lives out in front of the island and during mating season, which is
about now,
right about March until now. When our divers go out there, loggerhead turtles are fairly blind, and so they mistake divers as
girlfriends.
And so our dive master he's had the loggerhead swim up to him and
give a nice big turtle hug,
big hug, grab onto him, and then he's had to
harmless, but
tried to push the turtle away. No, I am not a turtle.
The turtle probably weighs 800 pounds.
Yeah, and then all the guests, divers are laughing and watching it happen. So
that's hysterical.
and he does it every year, so it's pretty funny.
Yeah, we all the staff know when it's happening.
Yeah,
but the guests are surprised a little.
Same turtle.
Have you named Mr. Frisky?
We have. We actually named him Herbie.
Herbie, yeah, he's so huge.
He's the size of a Volkswagen Bug. He's a huge male turtle that's probably well over 100 years old.
Herbie the love bug.
Yeah,
Who's
we get
very
quite a bit of
amorous.
nesting here. So yeah,
Very
Very
frisky.
frisky and fun.
yeah.
Well, I think that's a
That's a very good
funny story.
story.
I don't know if there's a second one on that
on
one.
that one.
What about you,
What about you,
Kendra?
Kendra? What's the funniest thing besides
Herbie?
Oh, that's probably the funniest one. That's PG-13. We have quite a bunch of rescue pets. We have a pet pelican named Petey that walked right into our dining room while we were having shrimp scampi. He has a broken wing and he was a baby. So it's pretty funny. We were eating dinner and he walked right in. He wanted food. Apparently he was hungry. And he's going on 2.5 years.
Yeah,
we've been
feeding
him. He's our friend
5 times a day.
But he follows us around the island and he sleeps under our stairs waiting for us to get up to feed him. And he's a lot of joy for us and for our guests and staff.
Sometimes he gets, I don't know, tired of the island, or he gets confused because he gets a little jealous of the other pelicans that are flying around. And they'll fly to the other islands that are out here at Glover's Reef, and they'll swim all the way to the next island. And he swam 5 miles before to the furthest island. And the people over there call us up and say, Jim, Kendra, Petey's over here.
Your bird is here.
Come get him. And
so, we'll take our boat over there and go pick him up and
bring him back.
Feed him and
bring him back.
Oh, that is so adorable.
Don't swim over there.
Yeah. Petey the pelican.
I love it. How adorable is that?
Yeah.
Do you have other animals too?
We've got a couple cats and a bunch of parakeets. We have a pet muscovy duck. We have a bunny rabbit. And lots of iguanas and crabs and
thousands
birds.
Of iguanas.
We have a resident dolphin named the Lone Ranger that lives out in the lagoon.
Right.
We see him quite a bit. That's pretty much it.
How did you get a rabbit?
A rabbit?
Rabbit?
He was brought out from a friend of a friend.
Yeah.
And actually brought out to the other resort that we share the island with. But he adopted us. I think he smelled the fresh tortillas. So he knows where the kitchen is and comes right up to people when he's hungry. You can't really leave the food out because the iguanas or the hermit crabs will eat it. So when he's hungry, he just runs up to people and you can pet him and pick him up. And then we give him a plate of granola and peanuts and lettuce and carrots.
How sweet.
Well, I personally concur too. I want to thank you for taking time, sense of humor to play with the systems, but just to show up with us.
Sure.
And really be able to share really how unique it is to live on an island. And share information.
A good lifestyle, right? Yeah.
Was this fun too?
Yes, definitely. A little less stressful than we anticipated.
Well, getting the sound
One of the things I was impressed was that you all answered the 101 questions that we had come up with, right? And we put this link in here. I'm just going to go real quickly into screen share so y'all can see this. Or anybody else who's we typed this out, just thinking about, okay, what are these questions we're gonna ask, especially here down at the bottom. 101 questions you need to ask before buying your own island. So why would someone want to live on an island? Why would someone want to own their own island? What are the activities to do? How are property taxes calculated? What type of pests do you worry about? How do surveyors determine the boundary lines of a property on an island? What emergency services are available to you on an island? And really, there's just so much to this that, you really need to do your due diligence, right? I mean, you really need to investigate. So thank you, Ken. Those questions with others.
You're very welcome. Yeah, if you have more questions, feel free.
Yeah, so we've got Norton just from she's from we had a chance to visit San Pedro. She does a lot of in social media, interested in some.
Sorry.
So Lori, we're
We're
glad that you joined us. I know that we're a lot more of these in the future, so that way other clients, business owners, they're participating. So
I think
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, the echoing is going on. I'm not sure what that's from. But Kendron, you don't have echoing. So one of the things that's interesting is that you can hear me, but when you I don't hear anything.
Well, it seems to be.
So maybe you guys here with us as we're getting ready to wrap up the show, right? Right? What is your hardest thing that you had to get used to by living on an island as accessible?
The hardest
thing.
Mostly for me, it was just slowing down and accepting the slower pace. And
when we started out, there was no internet.
Yeah, there was definitely difficulties like that. No internet, no phone service. Originally, we had to use satellite phones and had to use radios actually to talk back and forth with the mainland. And of course, out here back then, just transportation, getting things out here was just so difficult.
There's no delivery service.
So we've figured it all out over the years, and
yeah,
we have phone
How often do you have guests bring you stuff in for you?
Well, yes. I mean, we ask the guests if they have something neat from the place they're coming from. If they,
something to share,
then they'll bring maybe
maple syrup
or something like that. Things you can't get in Belize. So we just have people bring things like that. But
yeah, our family and friends come quite a bit, and a lot of times they'll bring, if they're flying on miles or first class, they'll
bring
a suitcase full of goodies for us, Christmas presents for the staff or whatever.
Yeah, we do love when people visit us.
Yeah.
We're like,
Miss,
do you mind bringing?
I've one. What are you going to miss about the island after you sell it?
After we sell it?
Probably just just nature, being up close, like every day, we live outdoors.
Well, we do live indoors, outdoors, but we live, 15, 20 feet away from the ocean, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. And, the first thing we wake up, we see a, flock of pelicans
I'll probably miss the quietness, how quiet it is here with not very many people. And even when we have guests, there's still not very many people. But, so I'll just miss running the place because it's been our life for the last 25 years. So
it'll be a big adjustment.
Big adjustment. But it's nice to change every once in a while.
Miss the view.
I bet when the owners show up, they're gonna want you to come visit.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll probably have to come say hi.
Yeah.
Who knows? They want us.
Yeah.
You will be bringing that suitcase.
Oh yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, sure.
Love to have you on again.
Thank you. Anytime.
Yeah, anytime. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Glad it worked out.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Don't you love those two?
I do. They're just so precious, and I think it's because they might have had two different systems open with the same program that we're recording on. So therefore, there was the feedback coming on. So sorry, everybody that was watching the reverberation, but I have a feeling we need to bring them back. What do you think, Doug?
Yeah, absolutely. And it doesn't have to be a huge time, but I know they have such great things that they want to share.
Come on. I want to hear more about Herbie. That's hysterical. Herbie, the 800-pound frisky turtle that is quite amorous. How flippin' adorable is that? Just so, but yeah, I can see, when they've built something like that, to pass it on to someone, they're looking for not only a buyer, of course, but looking for someone that is the right buyer, because it's going
Yeah.
to take their baby that they have figured out how to do all of this, how to with them. And now you can go on the island with them, for goodness sakes. So, and that people can work from anywhere in the world for the most part, right? We have figured it out. And that's a very feasible opportunity for sure. Not a bad place to live on an island.
It is when it's a turnkey business that has the reputation that they have. It is when it's been so well maintained. It is when they have dedicated employees who keep working for them year after year. Because I could imagine that just living on an island like that as an employee kind of has to be tough, right? Because you're not going back to shore once a week to go visit with folks, right? You're kind of there. So it's a tremendous um, undertaking that they have done, and it's just fascinating to see how successful they've been over these years.
True. And, and I see that our friend Lori is on, Taco Girl. She, lived on the island even back when she first came. There's a lot of changes, for goodness sakes. And now, and being able to get, faster internet than we've ever had, for goodness sakes. You can get things brought over to the island much easier than before. There's a lot of different changes. Those things are really worth, I think, people knowing, because they realize, wow, we've really grown. Because a lot of people come to Belize and go, oh, it was kind of a sleepy, slower town, and they'll get there, and I'm like, wow, we've already come so far, leaps and bounds, and things that we can do and have, and really, do we want too much? No, we don't want to be, we don't want to be Cancun.
Yeah.
Cancun is Cancun. We are Belize, and we're different, and different's good.
And I think a lot of people give the I don't know, maybe my soapbox here, but I think that a lot of people give the Belize government a hard time, right? Because they're slow and not everything is the way they should be. But they do work hard, right? They they do care. Now they do have to follow their process, and their process has to somehow be reformed through through new policies. But they do care, right? They will make the time for you as long as you're nice and kind and are respectful, right?
Something to remember is Belize is a baby still. We have not been a country for that long, right? We're a
Years.
baby. For example, when the United States first started, as the United States, we
Yeah.
were nothing like we are now. So give us kudos, I think. Belize has done phenomenal, and there's a lot of people committed to making sure those things grow every day in every way and improve.
Yeah. Well, I think if anybody wants to get in contact with us about not just the not just the property for off the wall, but any other properties that we have, here's the phone number that you can write down real quick. It's been going in blue to kind of remind you, both local Belize and international. Also have this QR code. If you have your phone and you want to bring it out real quick and scan it, this will direct you directly to my phone, so I'll be able to answer it. And then that way, if I can't help you directly, I'll be able to forward your request onto somebody else who does, because I don't have all the answers. What's great about working with our team at at Keller Williams is that we support one another, right? We can't be experts in everything, but when we come together towards a mutual goal, that's when we're really able to make an impact in our community.
It's true.
Yeah. So
It's an
Macarena, I'm sorry, go ahead. You
Well,
were
I
going to
was
say
just
something.
saying, it's really where, the polyclinic, for example, in San Pedro didn't come to us and ask what we needed. We did our annual Red Day where we searched the community to see what really we needed. And we found that the polyclinics had a deficit in, like Placencia, they needed some things, air conditioning too. In Ambergris Key, same thing. And to be able to install things that mattered, and it's very, if everybody just does a little good, that good spreads, right? There's enough ickiness. Well, forget the ickiness, do the good, and more good will show up.
Yeah.
So what were
Without
you going to say, Doug?
I don't know, but what I do know is that you do so much. Macarena, do so much for our community. You do so much for me. You know, you're the backbone of this entire operation. So, gosh, I mean, I appreciate you and all the hard work that you've laid the tracks, not just for me, but others in our company. So I want to acknowledge you for that.
Gosh, thank you. You didn't tell me to bring a tissue with me, for God's sakes. Thank you. I appreciate that.
How's this? Is this okay? All right.
That's adorable. Yep. Sounds like happy birthday. Dance again, everybody. Come on, let's dance.
Well, gang, we're gonna work on our audio better for next time. Again, this is a work in progress, week after week, 10 o'clock, Belize time. I hope you join us. I hope you share it with your friends. I hope you follow us on the Facebook page. This is where a lot of the stuff is going. So I know I've been getting messages from a lot of the businesses owners on San Pedro. Hey, can you share this with the video that you created? Know that it will be up here. We can't post all of them every single day, but we will get it out. So from my heart to yours, my community to yours, I hope you come down to Belize and join us. Have a wonderful day and enjoy your weekend. Take care.